The comfort zone is destroying your brain. It's keeping you stuck, doing the same things day in and day out. Tired and unproductive, you know deep down you can do and be more. But where do you start? Where are the steps to breaking free? So, how is living in your comfort zone destroying your brain? Well, during this video, I'm going to show you exactly why. Plus, I'm going to show you how to get out of your comfort zone, give you some tactics so you can create a fantastic future. But first off, let us look at what is the comfort zone. Well, the definition really is a psychological, emotional, behavioral construct. What does that mean? Look, it is what feels safe to you. It's what is regular to you, your habits, your routines. Look, whether we realize it or not, we have a 2 million-year-old brain inside this body. And what that brain is absolutely obsessed with doing is keeping you safe, helping you to survive. So you avoid pain, discomfort, disappointment, rejection. Unless we wake up to the fact that there is a part of you that wants you to stay where you are, then you'll always stay where you are. You will stay with what is familiar to you. So I want to give you a different perspective of why people stay in their comfort zone. So you know what the comfort zone is. You know why you have it. You know you have a 2 million-year-old brain. What is this brain trying to do? It's trying to help you from fight if you need to fight, to help you flee if you need to flee. However, most of us don't need to do that. In fact, most people today will experience more stress and fear and anxiety than a caveman would have felt probably in their whole life, just in one day. Why? Because the way we are living our life is allowing us to survive, but not thrive. I believe that most of us are living a future that we don't really want. If you make people aware of how they're living their life today and what they're doing, and you showed them where that was going to take them in the future, I believe that so many people would wake up to the reality that living in their comfort zone is destroying their brain. Why? Well, because your brain really wants you to evolve, really wants you to create, really wants you to move, really wants you to improve and leave an impact. Look, there's a film, you might have seen it, it's called WALL-E. And in this film, human beings have destroyed the earth. So much so, they have to leave this earth. And there's this little robot that is left on earth doing what it was doing before. It gets rescued from another robot and they go off to one of these big spaceships where human beings are not living, they're just existing. Watching screens, drinking soft drinks, eating junk food. They've forgotten how to move their legs. They are living in a massive zone of comfort. And they need this robot to wake them up to the fact that how they're living is not how they have to live. But what about you? How is life for you today? What is it that you're doing that you do every single day that maybe is making your life be something you don't actually want? Maybe today is the day to wake up and look at life with a fresh pair of eyes and realize the inputs that you're putting in, the inputs that are shaping your outputs, whether it's junk food or junk media or junk news, information that you are feeding yourself that is making you want to stay where you are. What we see with so many people is they have so much potential, but we're living in our comfort zone. Why? Because it requires no effort. Have you ever driven your car or been on a car journey for a long period of time? You know how to drive, you're not particularly aware of what is going on around you, you're just in autopilot. But then when you arrive at your destination, you're really tired. Why? Because you're not using your creativity, you're not using your brain, you're just doing what you've always done. And if you always do what you've always done, you know that you'll always get what you've always got. Look, in terms of tactics to help you get out of your comfort zone, I want you to take a moment and to think about all of the people all over the world right now that are experiencing similar experiences to you. What are they? So many people who don't feel like doing something. They don't feel like doing something that they know if they did it, they would get a great result from it. And what we all have to learn to do is to learn how to think greater than we feel, to step out of our comfort zone. Because once we start to step out of our comfort zone and just get started, the hardest thing to do is just get started. Why? Well, because whenever you start to do something, whether that be exercise or meditating or keeping a journal or reading a book on personal development, if that's what you don't normally do, there's going to be a part of your brain that goes, stop, don't do that. That's not what you do. But as soon as you start to do it, that is where the inspiration comes from. Look, I'm sure you've heard of the company Nike or Nike. Their phrase is just do it. And what I'd say to you is the number one tactic, it's not about just doing it, it's about just getting started. Because when we start to play at the edges of what is comfortable, that is where growth and progression happens. Look, I don't know whether you're the sort of person who's ever joined a gym and you haven't joined the gym and said, hey, where is my fitness? You know it comes from adapting, and you know it comes from doing a little bit more every single time as you get better. I believe that every human being wants to get better. And there's a famous quote by a guy called Daniel Gilbert who says, human beings are works in progress who mistakenly think they are finished. You don't have to settle for where you are. Maybe now is the time for you to get out of your comfort zone. Realize that your inputs are shaping your outputs. And understand that there will always be a part of you that wants you to stay where you are. Many people who know me for having ducks around me. I've written a book called Shut the Duck Up. The duck, to me, represents the part of us that wants to protect us, wants us to stay where we are. Think about it. When your ancestors were living in caves, they never would have gone for a run. They never would have exerted effort unless they had to. But most of us need to exert effort because where we're staying isn't allowing us to evolve. So my big question to you is, do you want to stay where you are or do you want to grow? Are we not designed to get better? Are we not designed to make the choices that one day we can look back and see who we actually became? I dare you, I challenge you to identify with who you can become. And the second tactic is to get really, really good at being comfortable, at being uncomfortable. To start playing at the edges of who you thought you were as you start to grow and you start to advance. Look, there's a lady called Mel Robbins who's very well known for what is now known as the 5-second rule. The 5-second rule is knowing that those numbers of counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and beginning can really engage what is known as the prefrontal cortex of your brain. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just get started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just start journaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just start exercising. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pick up that book and start reading it. And the inspiration that you want to feel, it will come to you because you just got started. This is a quote by Alain de Botton who said, anyone who is not embarrassed by who they were last year isn't learning enough. What I encourage you to do is to look at the way you're living your life today, realizing that so much of that life is perhaps living in a box, sleeping in a box, living in a box, watching a box, playing with a box, eating box food, and realize that now is the time to get out of your box, to get out of your own way and let your genius come through. So my challenge to all of you is to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and get yourself to just get started. Get comfortable at being uncomfortable and know that your future is unwritten. You have the power to change. And that's what this video is all about. Get out of your comfort zone. Let your brain evolve and show the world what you're truly capable of doing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.